Neonic Void Productions presents.
Welcome to Spookocalypse. My name is Bunyip, and I will be your host this evening or day, whenever you're listening to this. And I am also joined here with Zio in his little corner of his own pocket dimension and housekeeper.
Hey,
What's up?
my man corner cave.
Is that what you call it nowadays?
It's my little corner. It's a man cave. I'm a fucking weirdo. I know. I am atrocious. Hi. Welcome to Spookocalypse. I don't know what else to add in the beginning of the episode, so let's do the housekeeping.
God damn it.
Do you want us to wait a little bit for you to finish?
No, you're good. I wasn't chewing on
Okay.
anything. I'm good. I had to think really hard on the vocabulary I was about to say. Because I was going to say something completely different. Anyway, so if you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your new blah 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 blah. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That is at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you're from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure that you drop a like. Share this video, subscribe, tickle or punch that bell, whatever suits your fancy. Drop a comment on I don't know, what your favorite part of this movie is, who your favorite character is, if you're looking forward to the sequel, or yeah, I was gonna say prequel, but it's not a prequel, it's a sequel. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about or review, put down in the comments, just say hi. We don't bite. We're gonna be doing some spooky shit, and Mints will be on the pillow.
Well,
It didn't catch that, damn it. I opened up a can of sparkling water and I'm like, I wonder if it'll catch the ASMR. It did.
if it'll capture the
It brings a
spark.
crush. The
Do
stardom
we
of
know
it
what
all.
flavor we're going with today?
Lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Lemonade.
I hate it here.
Special lemonade.
And not just
Ooh.
like the kind you make from those Kool-Aid packets. We're talking the one where you put an actual lemon in there. We make it tart.
Huh? Yeah. You're making it as tart as your personality.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
So Pearl's personality isn't great, girl.
Well, anyway, the movie we're discussing today is X from 2022.
Yes. So we are starting the month of March with X to start off our month of A24. So wait, Bunyip? Congratulations, Bunyip!
Way
Talk
to
about
ask a
production
question to
stuff.
see if I want to consent to this, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make you do it anyway. Stop clapping.
Thank you for volunteering.
I didn't
oh
sign
my
up for selective
God.
services. At least in this regard. Okay, fine.
It was in the fine print when you signed it with your soul.
Goddamn past self. Okay, credits. So this movie was directed by Ty West and also written by Ty West and also produced by Ty West as well as Jacob Jafke. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Kevin Turin and Harrison Crace. And it's starring Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, Martin Henderson, Brittany Snow, Owen Campbell, Stephen Uri, I'm not sure about that, and Scott Mescudi.
I totally forgot that Jenna Ortega acted in this movie.
Yep, she
I
sure
did not
did.
recognize them, but now
Sure
that I see
did.
the name, I'm like, oh, I know who you're talking about.
Miss Wednesday, or AKA Scream Queen from Scream 5 and 6. When did this movie come out?
About March 13th.
2022.
Or March 20 or March 18th when it got released to the theatrical
Oh,
release.
yes, March 18th is the theatrical release. 13 was at SXSW.
Oh, South by
Yes.
Southwest.
It had a budget of just $1 million and it made over $15 million.
Oh, this was a box office fucking. Let me tell you. They made some good ass money. And fun fact that I will probably repeat on next week's episode when we talk about the prequel of X Pearl. But Pearl and X were filmed back to back on the same budget. So they used $1 million to film both X and Pearl.
As in like 1 million combined or 1 million for each?
1 million combined. As a whole, they filmed it back to back.
Oh, so wouldn't the budget technically be 500,000 for this one?
500.
No, since we don't know how much that they used on this one
Yeah.
and then on the other one, but like it helps that they were in the same location.
Yes. Because it only was one. Well, Pearl was pretty much like one location, maybe like one other one for like 2 seconds here and there. But for the most part, the main location was the same. But they figured it out budget wise with the stretch that 1 million to cover all the costs for both films. And in total, they've made like I think like 25 mil from that 1 mil.
Mhm.
That's a box office. That's some box office numbers right there. I mean, looking back on that, the numbers aren't very high, but against that 1 mil or probably less, depending on how much it costs for each film, that's A24 made some good money. But let's dive into the movie of X. Hi, welcome to Spook. I'll be your navigator through the awesomeness of A24. Bunyip, buckle up, get a drink, get a snack. Shit's about to get crazy. Okay, so X starts off in 1979, where police officers arrive on a farm in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, Texas. It's always Texas, right? And they find numerous dead bodies everywhere throughout the barn. Then they enter said farmhouse that's located on the barn.
I didn't know if it picked it up, but I kind of like burped and like I saw my thing light up and I was like, I'm so sorry, excuse me.
So yeah, police came by to a farm, found a bunch of dead bodies, and they're like, what the fuck happened? And then they walked downstairs into the basement of said farmhouse and they found something shocking. What did they find? Well, let's roll back 24 hours and get this stew a cooking. So 24 hours earlier, you're introduced to Maxine, a aspiring adult film actor, a star, as she embarks with her boyfriend / producer Wayne on a road trip with a bunch of other people. You got oh gosh, Bobby Lynn, Love Bobby Lynn. If y'all couldn't guess why by watching the movie, Bobby Lynn was my favorite character. She's an icon. She's serving cunt. Okay. Love Brittany Snow. So you got burlesque dancer Bobby Lynn, Marine Corps veteran Jackson, a amateur director named RJ, and then RJ's girlfriend, Lorraine. And they're all there to shoot a porn. And I'm not just talking about any porn, like a 70s style porn, like the stuff your dad or your granddad would look at back in the 70s.
Yeah,
This ain't a film
this
for
is during the
kids.
time in which like filming porn became legal, or at least hardcore. I don't really know how, but I think in the 70s it was like, yeah, if you want to film adults doing it, you could do that now. And there was a lot of
Right.
religious pushback, like, oh, this is the begin of the end of America. I was like, yeah, we've been saying this for a long time.
So they're all there to shoot a porn. And then Maxine has a whole thing where she wants to be the star. She's gonna end up in Hollywood. She's gonna be famous. Yeah, okay. So the characters Bobby, Lynn, and Jackson, of course, have a romance going on. While RJ is there to attempt to make a porn that has serious cinematic work. It's a work of art. He's like, I want to make this porn a piece of art. And I'm just like, you're filming two people have sex, then tits flying about. What art is? Okay. You gotta start somewhere, babe, you know? Gotta start somewhere. And RJ's girlfriend is there to assist him with equipment and lighting, and is just unimpressed from being there. She's just like, what the fuck am I doing? You could tell she's like, is dating RJ really worth it? I can just dump him right now and go home. And all this starts off in Houston. They're in the middle of Houston in the 70s. And you can see the backdrop of factories and air pollution. Because it's the 70s. Like it's right before 80.
Yeah,
You know
like
how it be.
we don't know nor
Those-
care what CFCs are.
Exactly. You know how it be. I wasn't alive in 79. I still had another 13 years to cook before I was born. So,
Oh my God, wait, hold on.
I wasn't
I
there.
gotta do math
What?
real quick. Hold on.
79, 89, 90.
No, never mind.
Wait, 14 years. No, 13. Yeah, 13 years until I was born. Then 15 years for like housekeeper. And Bunyip, you were born in 91, right?
I was born in 94.
12 years before you. Yeah, so you'd be 15 years housekeeper. 15 years before your time. So if you're in the 70s, y'all know. Y'all know. I don't. That's fine. So the group goes on a magical journey into the rural Texas, like the start of a slasher film. And they even make references like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Some of the stuff they do is very like old school 70s slasher references and shit throughout the whole thing. Like the way the film's shot, certain references, certain things people say, it's a callback. They get to this gas station, they buy a bunch of food. Maxine is just like, why is RJ's girlfriend even here? She doesn't seem to take this seriously. I'm gonna be a star. Because that's all Maxine says for the first, like half the movie. I'm a star. I'm gonna be a star. You'll see. While they're filling up gas, so Wayne and Maxine are inside getting getting groceries or whatever from the gas station, and everyone else is at the gas tank getting gas in their van, and freaking RJ is like, "Oh, we could take this moment to film part of the movie. Let's fill some scenes, fill some gas." And he's filming, and he's filming Jackson and Bobby Lynn. Bobby Lynn's like, you're doing it wrong. Try this angle. Do it in such a way where it looks like the gas pump looks like his penis. And they're like, oh, okay. And they film it and they're like, wow, this is pretty good. Bobby Lynn's like, that's right. I know what I'm talking about. And I was like, Bobby Lynn, serve. Yes, mama, serve. She has an eye, apparently, but no brain cells. Then from there, from said gas station, they arrive on a farm that is owned by a lovely, lovely elderly couple named Howard and Pearl. And they're there to stay in their guest house where they intend to shoot said pornographic movie without them knowing. When they get when Wayne gets up to the house to introduce himself to Howard and to say, "Hey, we're here," Howard greets him with a shotgun to the face. And after a little like, "Whoa there, brother, we're just here. We talked on Tuesday, remember?" Ha, funny. We're recording on a Tuesday. Apparently, they talked on Tuesday. And Howard's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Okay." Not suspicious at all. So bip bap boom, they move all their equipment and stuff slowly to the guest house. But Maxine's one of the last people to go, and she looks up in the window and she sees an old woman watching her. A very creepy old woman watching her. She waves, the old woman just stares at her, and she walks off into the guest house. So from there, Howard disapproves of the group in general, but Wayne doesn't care. He's just like, he disregards all his and he informs Howard of his intentions, like, "Oh, we're here to film a movie, blah blah blah." Kind of give him the spiel to get him off their scent, so don't have to worry about them getting nosy because they're not really telling them that they're filming but makes it very apparent, or they find out soon enough, that's for sure. While the film crew, while the film, yeah, crew, well, no, 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 I can't talk today. Next day, or later on that day, they're filming a sex scene between Bobby Lynn and Jackson. Maxine is wandering around the property as that sex scene is happening, and Bobby Lynn is putting a lot of acting into it. Say that. And this again, this is not a movie for children. Do not take your child to see this movie. For the love of God, don't do it. It's very inappropriate for children. I'm not saying that just to say that. I'm saying that because I'm like for real. So Bobby Lynn and Jackson are getting freaky deaky. And Maxine is wandering around the property and she discovers a large pond in the back behind everything. And she decides to go take a swim. The old woman, who's named Pearl, decides to go watch from the trees. And a large alligator starts stalking Maxine as she exits the water. Maxine then returns back to the guest house, starts heading that direction as Pearl invites her inside the farmhouse where Pearl and Howard's, the old couple, stays. She comes inside the house and she starts expressing the envy that Pearl has for Maxine's youth. It makes a very awkward sexual advance towards her. And Maxine's just like, "Yeah, nah, I'm going." And of course, Maxine is also just wearing overalls. too, and I'm like, don't think you should put on a shirt being around an old
Yeah,
woman?
basically, it's like it's either overalls, nothing else, or overalls and a tube top.
Yeah, yeah. I would think to put on a tube top when you're going to accompany an elderly person. I mean, the overalls are covering everything. You just see side boob, but it's the 70s, I guess. It's just weird that Pearl made a sexual advance towards her, and I was like, whoa. First time watching this movie in theaters. Paint a picture. Me and Housekeeper and like Indigo and like, was it just us four?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're sitting there enjoying this movie. And that happened, and I'm just like, mm, mm, mm,
No, no, no. It's a
mm.
later scene.
No.
It's the later scene.
Well, that too. That too. I was like side eye. I'm like, what kind of movie is this?
I was just like, what the fuck did Zio sign us up to fucking watch?
I mean, y'all knew exactly what y'all were getting into. It's A24 horror. Actually, was this the first
No.
A24 horror film we saw?
No, it was Lamb.
Together. Oh, it was Lamb.
Lamb.
Oh, we'll talk about Lamb someday.
God,
someday. Not anytime soon,
that
though.
movie.
So, back to the journey. Maxine pieces out on Pearl from the house and she heads back to the guest house. Howard returns home and Pearl. Well, actually, no. Pearl makes sexual advance towards Maxine. Howard walks inside the house and Pearl rushes Maxine out of the house, saying it'll be our little secret.
Yeah.
Disturbed, Maxine pieces out.
Did they drink lemonade during the scene, or was that a different scene?
Well, lemonade pops up several times, like a couple different times too. So I don't know if she actually drank this lemonade, the lemonade this time around or not. First time.
I only remember one where it's like they're just sitting at a table, and then Maxine just downs the lemonade. It's like, well, I have to go.
Oh yeah, that's the
the
second or
original?
third
I
time.
thought that was the first one.
I mean the first one. This is the first one. You mean Pearl?
No, the first scene. Whenever she like originally goes into like she drinks the lemonade.
Remember she drank the lemonade. She was just creeped out because Pearl made a move on her, and then Pearl kicked her out when Howard was walking in. I don't remember if she did or not. Anyway, Maxine gets the house. She dips the fuck out. And then she returns back to the guest house where she and Jackson then shoot their sex scene in the barn. The whole storyline there is that Jackson car breaks down he's wearing a full 70s getup, right? And he's like, knock on the door. And Bobby Lynn opens the door. Yeah. My dad's right now. How can what's going on? And his car's broke down. He's like, can I use your phone to make a call? And Bobby Lynn is just like, oh, we don't have a working phone right now, but my daddy's in town right now, so he'll be back and he'll take you back to town. They have their shit. And Jackson goes to the barn after. I guess that's the scene after that.
It's just their lines like, "Would you like to come inside?" He's like, "Much obliged." And then they have the scene, and then they go to the barn to have another scene.
And Maxine's just like, yeah, that's my sister. I'm the pretty one though. She did everything but say she ugly as fuck. And I was like, what is going on? Those barn animals, those poor barn animals, they've seen some shit. If not from Pearl alone, from that shoot. So they're filming another scene in the barn. And again, Pearl watches them from outside and is highly aroused. And she imagines herself in Maxine's position. And I'm just like, girl, what the fuck is this goddamn movie? I was like, hello? Then Pearl returns home and begs Howard, her husband, to have sex with her, but he refuses because of his heart. And Pearl does not like that answer. So after that, we go to that night where Lorelai, oh my God. Loreline?
It should just be Lorraine.
Lorraine. I don't know what the fuck. What am I on today? Lorraine. What am I on today? I can't pronounce names for shit today. It's Lorraine. God. So that night, Lorraine is intrigued by the filming. And she's like, you know what? I want part of this. And RJ's like, the fuck? No. And she's like, why not? Why can't I? And then RJ's coming with every excuse in the book. He's just like, well, it wouldn't make sense. We already filmed a bunch of scenes. We would have to redo the whole thing. And Wayne pulls him outside and he's like, well, you're good. I would just let her because otherwise she's gonna find someone else to go do it with at some point. Or she's gonna do it anyway if you like it or not. So might as well just let her. And I'm like, that's kind of toxic, but okay. I'm like, damn. So Lorraine is going to have a sex scene with Jackson. And RJ is not happy about it at all.
Yeah, and during that discussion, when Lorraine speaks up, they were talking about, like, I think it was like, how can you, Wayne, have sex with Maxine, but also have Maxine have sex with Jackson? It's like, well, it's just business. Like, when the camera's on, it's totally fine, but when the camera's off, it's not, and that's what the difference is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, RJ is definitely like, he's like really getting her to try not to do it. It's like, we just can't move. We just can't do it. It's like, it's too technically difficult. I'm like, you can shoot a scene and record it. You don't have to use it. It's just like extra footage.
Yeah. But he just didn't want to have his girlfriend have sex.
Yeah, which I suppose is a major concern if you do work in the adult film industry. Like, if you're gonna date someone in the industry, it's like they're probably gonna sleep with someone other than you. And if you're like stars, you're not just the cinematography part or your sound. Like, if they're actors, they're probably gonna have sex with a lot of other people. And if you're okay with that, then there's no problem. But RJ clearly had
It's just a
RJ
job.
clearly had an issue with this. And he wasn't. It's sort of like, I didn't sign up for this. And it's like, yeah, but like, they don't really take his side. And he's in the shower and he's really hurt about it. But it's hard to feel sorry for him, especially when he's like, I'm just going to take the van and go, which the van, by the way, says plowing service. Not any kind of specific plow. It's just like really generic, just like, yeah, it's a van for plowing, like parking in cornfields, just doing the Lord's work on the fertile soil, that kind of thing.
And useless, not really a fun fact, but a very useless fact that my boyfriend told me when we were watching this movie last night night before the recording. We're recording this now. When Brittany Snow and Brittany Snow and Mia Goth do not have what they call a nudity clause, which means they can show their tatas all they want on film. They don't care, which they do show, mind you. You do see the tatas, but Jenna Ortega does not. Because she will not be nude on film because of her nude clause. I didn't know that was a thing. I did not know that. I mean, I knew that obviously the actors get permission. They get permission from the actors to actually be like, "Hey, cool, you're cool being nude, great." But I didn't know there was actual like contractual term for it. A nudity clause. Did not know that was actually like there's an actual term for that. So I'm like, cool, little film knowledge for you. If you've always wondered why you haven't seen your favorite actor nude, probably because they have a nudity clause and they don't want to be nude. Useless film knowledge for you. So, Jackson and Lorraine have their sex scene. They film that. RJ is distraught. He's broken up inside. He's devastated. He later sets out to leave the group stranded at the farm while they are asleep. But he discovers Pearl standing in the driveway in front of the van. So he goes out there and tries to help her, thinking she might be lost or like, are you good? And she tries to make a sexual advance towards RJ. RJ's like, oh, no there, homie. Are you good? Let's get your husband. And then she stabs him in the throat.
All while Blue Oyster Cult Don't Fear the Reapers blaring from the van.
Yeah, that is correct. And his death was that looks like a painful way to die because he didn't die right away. I'm like, this poor man. I mean, he was an asshole. But damn, he died a horrific death. A very painful death, I'm sure. Where he kind of like drowned in his own blood and shit. And she took said knife out of his neck, jaw, like right on his jaw. And then she started repeatedly slashing his neck until he was decapitated. And I'm like, great. So Pearl's a psycho. Love it. Love it. Cool. Next morning, everyone notices that RJ is gone. And Lorraine enlists the producer's help to go find him. Wayne searches the barn and I can't. Okay. I have a problem with some movies when it comes to gore because it just certain things that just like, I can't. He was looking in the barn barefooted and he steps on a nail and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, like it's just lying there. It's in a plank and it's facing up, and you see the you see the feet step closer and closer
Nope.
until it hits, and you're like, oh my god,
Gross.
that can actually happen. And it's stuck while he has to pull it out.
I can't. It's so gross. I can't. I can do gore in some movies, like Pearl. The gore is cartoonish, and that's fine. This one, I'm like, well, that one in particular, because the act of stepping on, you can almost feel it watching it, and I'm just like, girl, no, girl, bye, girl, toodaloo, I'm out. I can't. Again, how did they film that without actually putting a nail through his leg, through his foot? Like, I want to know. T West, send me an email. We'll get you on the show. I have questions. So he has a nail in his leg or his foot, and he then sees something moving outside. He peeps through a hole in the door. And then Wayne gets stabbed in the eyeball by Pearl
With
with a
a pitchfork
pitchfork.
that has 3 prongs and fits through 3 holes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very convenient.
Mm-hmm. Very convenient. It's almost like she's done this before. She kills him though. Meanwhile, Howard invites Lorraine into their house, claiming Pearl has gone missing due to being very unwell. I mean, she is unwell. She's fucking psychotic. He asks Lorraine to retrieve a flashlight in the basement. She goes down the stairs. And when she comes back up, she realizes, well, shit, Howard's locked me inside before discovering a male corpse hanging from the ceiling in the basement. And that's when you knew that Pearl and Howard are psychopathic killers, serial killers, or at least Pearl. Because that male corpse that they find is from it's not from their group of people, it's from a group of people before. Because you also get another shot of when Maxine is at the pond way back in the beginning of the film. When she's walking, you see a Volkswagen or a Volkswagen bug sticking out of the pond that Maxine did not notice on the marsh area.
Man, I didn't even notice that. Not until Jackson finds it later.
Well, Jackson does find it later, but I'm pretty sure it was the bug. They did show something in the marsh while Maxine was walking towards the main pond. I'm pretty sure it was the bug, but it might have been something else. Because they did show a car sticking out, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. So from there, Lorraine's stuck in the basement, finds the corpse of the dead man. He screams. It's like a poster. It's that image of her screaming is like promotional screenshot that's shown everywhere throughout for the movie's advertisement. It's everywhere. So from there, Howard goes to the guest house and asks Jackson to go help find Pearl. When they split up to look at to go around the little lake or pond, Jackson finds a submerged car in the water, the bug, and Howard finds his flashlight and throws his flashlight into the lake, tricking Jackson to go retrieve it, hoping that the alligator attacks him. That's in the water. Jackson does get out of the car, and Howard confronts him and shoots him in the chest, killing him. He has a hole in his chest now, so he's dead. So that's another one down. Meanwhile, Pearl sneaks into the guest house, undresses herself, and climbs into bed with Maxine. And she starts caressing Maxine's body.
And
I was like,
leaves bloody prints.
Uh-huh. Maxine wakes up in horror to find Pearl laying next to her, waking Bobby Lynn. Now, if you've not guessed by this point, if you're watching this movie, Pearl and Maxine are both played by the same actress.
Did not recognize her under the makeup.
Mm-hmm. That old woman is Mia Goth. She didn't just play in the prequel; she played in the first and X as Maxine as well. Or is that
But
Maxine
I also
Pearl?
like how when Maxine wakes up and is freaking out, that Pearl gets up and she like waddles out of the room. And Violet's like,
Yes.
"What's going on?"
Pearl
Like
just
she
kinda
barely registers
waddles.
what's happening.
Yeah, Pearl's literally the crypt keeper. So from there, she wakes up Bobby Lynn. Back in the house, Lorraine breaks through the basement door with a hatchet that she finds. And as she busts open part of the door that's the most furthest away from the lock, and she sticks her arm out and she's like, let me try to get that lock. And then Howard decides to hack and slash at her fingers. I was like, girl, I would have just took out the part closest to the door and looked out before you stuck your hand out. Or just look further back, like step back and kind of look to see if anyone's in there, than just sticking your arm in there. So Lorraine got some fucked up fingers right now. And Bobby Lynn is walking around the lake and she finds Pearl standing on the edge. And she tries to help her because she's like, oh, Pearl must be confused. And basically Pearl slaps her and calls her a whore and a slut. And Bobby Lynn's like, the fuck? And she slaps her back. And then Pearl pushes her into the water. And I'm like, oh no, don't kill Bobby Lynn. And the alligator comes up, chomps down on her skull, and kills her.
I love how Pearl just says like, bitch. And then the second later, the alligator shows up.
Yeah. Damn. Pearl's a fucking bitch. They killed my favorite. They killed my girl, Bobby Lynn. But her death was, I kind of laughed in the theater when I saw that death. It was kind of funny. Because that bitch, it pushes her head. And the alligator comes up and grabs a hold of his skull and just crushes it. And I'm just like, damn. Well, hopefully Bobby Lynn's death was quick.
So now we have just Maxine and Lorraine still left, don't we?
Yup. Yup, that is true. Pearl and Howard reunite as they enter the guest house. And they have sex. And you get a full scene of an old couple having sex. Great. Cool.
Great.
Okay. I remember watching the movie in the theater with Housekeeper and Indigo, and I'm like, what? What? Is this for
Listen,
real?
slightly different opinion. Even though they're both
What do you mean?
murderers and they're both old,
Uh-huh.
I think it's kind of sweet that they still make love to each other.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it is kind of sweet. Because especially in Pearl, we'll talk about next episode. Yeah, it's kind of sweet in a weird, fucked up kind
But
of
at the
way.
same time, like I don't want to watch this. I just want Maxine, please get out from under that bed and just like crawl faster.
Yes, poor Maxine was stuck underneath the bed. It's like she got trapped underneath the bed while her grandparents are banging.
And they're moaning, they're moaning
She's
each
stuck
other's
there.
names. It's like,
Yeah, and she's stuck there. God, girl, I would have just got up and left because, like, what are they going to do? They're in the middle. They're in the middle of something. You could walk down. You would have been fine. So Maxine is stuck under there. Yeah, so Maxine's stuck underneath the bed as Howard and Pearl are banging it out.
Oh my god, that scene.
Yeah, that
I
scene.
came in at the
And
right time, didn't I?
oh yeah, at the right second. And eventually Maxine does escape and she gets to the van and she finds that the tires are slashed and she finds RJ's corpse, decapitated corpse. She arms herself with a pistol from the glove compartment that was there before. And she enters the house to go find and free Lorraine. Lorraine is hysterical, blames Maxine for what has occurred as she attempts to flee the house while Howard shoots her dead in the face with a shotgun. I was like, damn. If Lorraine could have just shut the hell up for like 2 seconds, they both probably would have gotten out just fine. So Lorraine's dead, and it's just Maxine. So from there, when she shoots Lorraine and kills her, the couple begin to move the bodies inside because Maxine did not walk out there. So they had no idea Maxine was there. So as they're moving Lorraine's corpse twitches and startles Howard, and it basically causes him to have a heart attack and he dies. Well, he has a heart attack and Maxine walks up with a gun and Pearl's like, get some help. He's having a heart attack. And I would have been like, girl, do you really fucking think I'm going to help either one of you bitches? The fuck? I'm like, you got some nerve, girl. And he dies. Maxine retrieves the keys to Howard's truck and unsuccessfully attempts to shoot Pearl, discovering that the pistol is not loaded. Pearl then, okay, this part, I laughed. I think all of
yes.
us laughed way more than we should have. That when Pearl shot the shotgun, she flew out the door. I laughed so hard. I'm like, oh, karma is a
And
bitch.
to add insult to injury, she's like, my hip.
Yeah, and she begs Maxine to help her. And Maxine's like, nah, fuck you,
That
bitch.
shit was so funny. I
What?
said that shit was so funny. My hip
Right?
help me.
My
It's like, after
hip
all you put me through,
hurts.
you seriously want me to help you now? Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in this truck and I'm gonna shift it in reverse and I'm gonna ignore all of the things you're
Oh,
shouting at me and I'm just going to gratuitously crush your skull when I back up and when I go forward again.
and that's exactly what happens. And that was gruesome. I'm like, she's not gonna back up. She's not gonna do it. Oh shit, she's doing it. Oh fuck, she did it. Yeah, she
That's
sure
how the
did.
camera
She
focuses on it, and
sure
you think they're gonna
did.
cut away because that's what I'm used to, but it's like, "No, there is no cutting away. We're showing
Yeah.
you everything."
No, no. Charlie West is like, nah, you're gonna see everything. You're gonna see what she did to her. Show what you did. It was great. It was gory. It was great. And then the following morning, the police arrive and find the bodies in the house and shit. And then, of course, it's revealed that Pearl and Howard's television set is playing a um fundamental Christian
Yeah, like
service
a
preacher
televangelist.
spewing shit. Yeah, televangelist. There you go. And he's spewing shit, and he starts talking about his daughter, and shows a picture of this guy's daughter, and it's Maxine. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense now that Maxine comes from a religious backing. That makes a lot of sense
Oh my
now.
god, that fuck
She's very much
that
like,
scene.
I will live the life I want to live. Were you gonna say
I
housekeeper?
said that scene was like whenever it pans over and it like the dude, the priest
Mhm.
was talking, he's like, my daughter got taken by some demons and blah blah blah. And then like they show a picture of her. I was like,
Yeah, that was an excellent twist, and it's happening, like,
Goot.
while the sheriff is not watching the television, so he doesn't,
Yeah.
like, notice.
Right. And then of course they find the camera and they find the footage and like, what kind of movie they were filming? They're filming one goddamn fucked up horror picture. And that's the end of the movie. Maxine's the only survivor. She drives away. What happens to Maxine? We don't know yet. So that is the movie X. Thoughts?
I fucking hate it. No.
I know that's a lie. I know damn well that's a goddamn lie.
I really liked it, and there's definitely
Right.
a theme of like, the theme is also mirrored in its prequel, Pearl, but a theme of wanting stardom. Like, in Maxine's case, she's like,
Mhm.
"I would like to have a better life by being famous," and in this case, doing adult films. And in Pearl's case, in the context of this film, you see that at least you see that she either was a ballerina dancer or wanted to become one,
Yeah.
and she didn't really get that opportunity. And the Maxine's always like, "Well, it's not my fault you wasted your life." And it's kind of going off of
Damn.
assumptions, not knowing anything about the other movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically a big thing of like trying to go for stardom and how you might can miss out on it if you get past a certain age and how you limit the past. Like that seems
Yeah.
to be the most prominent theme in X.
Yeah. Housekeeper.
What?
What were your thoughts on the movie overall?
Oh, I thought it was really great. Um, I'm sorry. It's taking me a minute because like I have like a migraine, so like I apologize. Thought it was a really great movie. I was by the end of it, I was really excited. You know, whenever Zio was like, "Oh yeah, they already have like the prequel set up, and it's gonna be coming out on this date," and I was like, "It can't come soon enough. I need to know more." So of course, whenever the elderly sex scene happened, I kind of like not kind of, I kind of like snapped my head at Zio and was like, bitch, what the fuck kind of movie did you fucking take me to? What kind of movie?
An
Like,
A24
I would
film.
Yeah.
An
And it's
A24
I
film.
mean, seeing as how we watched Lamb and Men before this, like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have been surprised, honestly. And Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, those 3 movies were the movies I saw before X, and I was like, "Bitch,
The
the
fuck?
fuck." Wait, did we watch Everything Everywhere All at Once before?
Everything Everywhere All at Once came after. It came around that movie came out around the time of Pearl.
Oh, okay, so then we watched that after. But, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's A24, so but I can't
Love me a
hate it.
good
Like, it was a
A24.
great movie. Um,
Yeah.
like, I did not feel awkward watching sex scenes with my 2 best friends sitting next to me.
Of course. I was just like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Well, I mean, like, it's kind of like whenever you go as a group, right? And
Yeah.
like, I'm basically the only female. I'm sitting in between 2 males, but one's gay as fuck anyway. The other one I feel comfortable enough that like if I'm like, oh, this is a porn scene, okay, whatever, and it just happens.
Yeah.
And so, but like, no, it was great. I loved it. I wanted to see more, and I'm glad that they came out with the prequel. And when the fuck I want Maxine to come out. Maxine needs to
So I
come
know,
out.
so do I. So do I. Fucking Halsey's in it.
Mother,
Fucking love Halsey.
mother.
Huh? Mother? Mommy?
But yeah, I love this movie. I love this movie. I think the
Now,
killing scenes are great. I think,
yeah.
you know, like I love how they revealed what happened in the basement. Like they kept you fucking waiting. Like they're like, oh no, this is gonna be it. I love the truck running over the head. Like that shit. I laughed at that. That shit was funny to me. Like her being like, my hip, help me. I'm like, bitch, you have the audacity, the gall and
Exactly.
gumption to that bitch. You just killed
Yep.
all her friends. We're gonna kill her too, and you have the gall to ask for help, bitch. That is the Lulu.
The
No, but it
Lulu.
was great. I love this movie. I loved it a lot.
Now, it's no surprise that Zio, love this fucking movie. Because I personally chose this. I mean, I pretty much I pretty much chose all the movies except for like the last one that we're going to do this month because everyone wanted to watch that one again. Watch that one for the first time because that last one of the month that we're doing did not stay in theaters for very long. It was very difficult to go see. But anyway, this one and Pearl, I personally like. Yes, that I don't care what else we do, but those movies are on the list because X is so fun. And every time there were tits, I was like, ah, titty. My gay ass like titty,
Today.
titties. Big old bitches. Anyway, rating system. We're not using the rating system of titties.
Aw.
I mean, you want to? We could.
That seems
How many
kind of easy.
titties?
Plus, what do you have an odd number?
You have to cut off one of
You
the
have to call it.
titties.
I
Or
mean, if it's
You have to cut off one of the
embrace
titties.
diversity.
Yeah.
you're right.
Hey, if you're out there living with 3 titties,
Or
get
one
it,
titty.
girl. Or 1 titty, get it, girl. Get it. We don't discriminate.
I don't know if that would be enough of a rating system.
No. How many cups of lemonade? That's the only significant thing I can think of is lemonade or alligators. Barn animals, peepholes, broke old age and broken hips. I don't know.
Unloaded revolvers.
Unloaded revolvers.
Eh.
We'll go with that.
It's odd, but okay.
Unloaded. How many unloaded revolvers do y'all give this movie?
Oof.
I I think I'll go with 4.5. Like, um, I don't know what personally holds it back for me. I did thoroughly enjoy it, and I will want to watch it again in the future. But I think there might be a little something missing, just for me personally. But I liked everything else.
Mhm.
I liked the soundtrack and music. I liked how scenes are set up. I like how there's always like especially that scene in the pond with the alligator just steadily getting closer to Maxine and she has no idea. And then the camera
Yes.
changes its shot to where she's getting out of the water. And I'm like, at this point, the alligator should be on her heels, just snapping them off, but no.
Yeah.
And Maxine doesn't even
Yeah.
notice.
Oh, she sure don't.
Uh, so I guess my favorite part of this film is the cinematography. But overall, I would say 4.5.
4.5. Okay. I will give this film a 4 out of 5. This movie is fun as hell. Fantastic. Again, it's not necessarily a film that's like perfect. Oh my god, 5 out of 5 because it's not, but like it's good. Don't that 4 out of 5 is a 4 out of 5 with love. It's fucking good. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. 4.5. 4.5. There it is,
Yeah,
ladies and
it's like a whole
gents.
4.5. That's it.
A whole ass 4.5. So go watch it. It's on Paramount. It's also on Netflix by the time this comes out. So you can go watch it on there, see it for yourself. So thank you all for listening to today's episode. Catch us next time as we talk about Pearl, the prequel to X. Until then,
Goodbye.
bye.